Well, hello there. Welcome to my next season winter bullet journal pre-planning. It's not something I get to do very often because life gets really busy, but Christmas break started today, so I have 2 weeks to get ready for 2024. And the way I set up my bullet journal is in seasons, so we can take a look at last season, which is just a set of 3 months. This bullet journal started off really strong. I decorated it on stream, so I tried really hard. I have this beautiful key with these gorgeous washi tape stickers and things like that. And I am very proud of the fall cover page. Look how gorgeous that is. I did it on stream with my friends giving input and we had a great time together. So they got a little polish posse carved into the tree for fall. But it's not a functional page. You know, it's just there to be pretty, which is great. And a lot of people do that. But I kind of want to utilize my journal more and make more functional pages. Because unfortunately, what ended up happening is I made these gorgeous spreads and then didn't use them, at all. I filled in the big things that were happening that I knew were coming up, but I never turned back to these. What is this? This is not a plan. This is nothing, literally nothing. So I obviously need to, my God, it's embarrassing. I need to streamline my bullet journal because this is silly. This is just a waste of paper and beautiful stickers that have no purpose in life. So for winter, which is technically for my bullet journals December, January, and February, we're a little late for December, so I'm going to pick up with January and February. I want to try and be more mindful about what goes on each page and do a little bit more pre-planning so that I'm actually using everything. So I'm just going to flip over to the start of where we'll put the new journal pages. So this is the winter title page. I was originally thinking, oh, I'll just do another pretty spread because it is fun to do on stream and stuff. But then I thought, you know what? We need to make this functional. I originally drew in mini calendars and then I was like, that's redundant. I'm going to have a calendar for each month. So that's just silly. So I actually want to do a word of the season. A lot of people do word of the year, but I feel like a year is a little too long for one word and I'm afraid I'll forget it and its meaning. And the thing about a word of a season is a month is too short, but a season is just right. 3 months is a nice span of time to remember your goals, and it's long enough to get goals done, but short enough that you have to get them done. You know what I mean? You have to prioritize. So I'm going to do a word of the season, and what's nice about this system is if that word is applicable to the next season, I'll just reuse the word. And it could become a word of the year or the word of half a year or 2/3 of the year. Who knows? Whatever's applicable to that season, that's going to be the word. So the word I chose is fortify. So I plan to make a little motif here in the middle featuring my word fortify. The reason I chose this word is because I want to fortify myself against falling back into bad habits. I want to reinforce the good habits and keep out the bad habits as much as possible. So it's everything from, mental and physical health, decluttering my spaces, kind of prepping for a big change that is possibly coming up in my life. So I want to be fortified in my good habits. So I'm going to do some sort of motif here for fortify. I'm thinking I kind of want to do a Frozen, but not the characters. You know what I mean? The pretty diamond shapes and purples and blues for winter. I don't know. This the point of pre-planning is just to kind of think about what's going on the pages and then we'll decorate later, whereas before I was always decorating and then supposed to fill in the pages but never actually did. So we're going to fill up our pages first and then decorate around that. What else I want on the winter title page is some sort of space for my seasonal goals, because like I said, a season of 3 months is about the right amount of time to achieve some goals without feeling too overwhelmed and rushed or, procrastinating and taking too long. So that might go on the same page and we'll do something pretty over here, or maybe I'll split it up. I'm not sure. But I am going to keep a space for my goals here. And I realized that this is not a sticky note, so that's just silly. Oh well. I'm trying to use up some of my old stationery. Next up is my winter reset. Basically what this is going to be is a bunch of to-do lists all related to different areas that I want to reset throughout the season of winter. Ideally, I think this would be the kinds of things you do before the season starts to kind of prep for that season. But since this is also the start of a new calendar year, I want to take my time with it. I don't want to feel rushed. I want to do it right. So I need spaces for different goal lists for different areas of my life. So let's think of some areas. Definitely my office. This will include things like cleaning off my desk, reorganizing the closet, and of course the ever-present declutter. The reason why I'm doing this on sticky notes first and not just jumping right into my journal is because some lists might be longer than others, and I don't want to force myself into a certain size box and one, feel like I need to fill up that box, or two, need to like overflow a box or cut down on my goals. So we're just gonna pre-plan and then design. Another big area of my life is grad school. I am graduating hopefully this May, so I need to do graduation prep and really just finish up my classes. And figure out when things are due. The next area that needs some attention is the primary bedroom, which has our closets, bathroom, and bedroom all in one. All three of those areas need their own time dedicated to cleaning them out, particularly my closet. I want to start with my closet because I've been watching a lot of videos and getting really interested in minimalist wardrobes, and I have so much clothes that I just don't wear, but I feel horribly guilty about getting rid of because, you know, all I see is money basically, or clothes were gifted to me, so I feel like I'm wasting a gift. And so I need to reset my thinking about that and understand that if I'm not wearing it, it's as good as it's being in the landfill. So I need to donate it, find new homes for it so that it can actually be used and not just sitting in my closet. The bathroom, obviously just need to cut out all the extra stuff, expired things, things I don't use, just get rid of it and pare down to just the necessities. And then of course the bedroom, I would actually really like to get a new bed, although I don't know if that will happen this year. But the bedroom needs to be a space that feels refreshing, and so I can wake up every morning ready for a new day and not feel immediately stressed by the mess that is around me. I have some more ideas, but I think they are more on a goal side of thing than a reset side of things, so I'm going to leave this page as it is for now. We can always add more notes later. Here is my winter savings plan. I want to actually try and follow a savings plan this season. So I went on Pinterest and I found this $10,000 in 52-week saving plan from moneybliss.org. It's pretty ambitious. I don't know if I'll actually be able to do it, but I'm going to try. And for January, February, which is the only months I have left for this season of winter, there are 9 weeks. So there's a set amount you put into a savings account every week. So I printed out 9 cute little snowflakes that I'll color in once I set aside that money. And I'll decide where these go later. Probably I'll put down a piece of pretty scrapbook paper, or maybe even just paint the page so that there's some sort of background. Then again, I think them blending into the white actually might even look better. So that's a decision I'll make later. Another possible setup I'd like to do on this page is buy versus no buy days. Where I'll highlight days I spent money and in one color and didn't spend money in another color. It's something like that. I don't really know if I'll use it, but it's good to experiment and see what works for you. And then also maybe do some sort of savings graph down here. Another thing I definitely want to add is a box for big buys. So big purchases coming up in this season or even this year that I need to just start saving for now that, you know, we need to make a plan for. It's not going to be able to be a spontaneous purchase. All right, now we're into the actual monthly planning. So here's my January calendar where I'll put big events. I'd like to add more to my calendars and actually use them, but honestly right now they're kind of an awkward size to fit things in, but I don't know. I really like having a calendar, even if it's just to like reference what day falls on what day of the week. It's important to me to have a calendar. So we're going to decorate the January calendar. And then I've set aside 2 different pages for content planning because I really do want to focus on content planning, planning things out better. So this page is going to be for Instagram and Twitch. Basically planning out what manicures I'm going to do and post each month and what streams I plan on doing and, performing, hosting. I don't know what the word is for my live streams over on Twitch. So that's where this will go. It's mostly going to be in the style of an index of like manicure, due date if it's a challenge, post date, something like that. Same thing with the streams over here. It'll just be like a quick note, like stream, this day, this manicure, and then some notes about like what I want to say maybe or talk about, just somewhere to kind of jot down ideas. It gets pretty messy, but it works for me to like just keep everything in one place. The second page I want for my YouTube. So this is where I want to plan out my videos. I have been doing this Vlogmas thing, which I think has been really good for me learning, my style of videos and editing and just getting comfortable with the whole process. But hopefully by January, I'll be in a little bit more of a routine and have set types of content to do. And this is my place to pre-plan for those things. If I'm going to do a video about an art project or something that happens in several steps, this needs to be pre-planned. So that's what this space will be for. And it's going to be for just January as of right now. I'll figure out later if I need this much space per month or if I can do an entire season on just the 2 spreads. That'll come later. All right, after that is my normal weekly spreads. So I have Sunday through Saturday with 1 box for notes for things that need to get done in the week but don't have to be done on a specific day. And this is pretty standard. This is how I do it. This blank page is for my budget page, which I will show you one that has not been filled out yet, so you have an idea of what that looks like. So this is my last budget page for December. I get paid every 2 weeks, so that's what the budget is based on. So I highlight, the payday to the next payday, so I know what days this particular paycheck will go towards, and so I know what bills are going to be coming out in that time span. Here's where I put my income for me, my husband, what's already in savings, and any extras and bits like that. And then, of course, I fill out my expenses and I do my running total every couple of days. Definitely not every day. And really just after I've made a couple of purchases, I do a running total for the month so I know where I'm at. So looking at the back of my journal just to see what I ended up using, I would really like to do some daily gratitudes. I want to, again, fortify the good habits. So reinforcing this idea of gratitude and knowing how far I've come means I can go so much further because I've already come so far. I think that's going to be really helpful with this practice of daily gratitudes. Savings challenge I'm going to set up. We already looked at that. The other one that I might put in the back of the journal is a reading and watching tracking list or note page of some sort. I have to look around at some spread ideas, but basically this is to help my streams be better because I can ramble for a little bit, but I'm not a super talkative person. So remembering what I've been reading and watching, so I have something to kind of talk about if no one's chatting or that my brain is a little bit out of it as it is sometimes, I think that'll be really helpful for content. And then a monthly check-in and reset. I'm doing that for the season. I maybe change that to a seasonal check-in and reset. I don't know yet if I'm going to need to do it more often or if every 3 months is enough. And then, of course, content creation tracking. I set up those pages and I'm going to see how they go, make adjustments as we go. So that is the pre-planning stage for my winter bullet journal. That will finish up this journal. So in February, I plan on doing a whole bullet journal review to make sure that when I set up my next journal, it's even better than the last. I hope you enjoyed this little pre-planning stage, and maybe it inspired you to do some pre-planning for your upcoming year or season, however you like to organize your bullet journal. In fact, I'd love to know, how do you organize your bullet journal? And what do you think of these spreads? And do you think there are any spreads that I should add? Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.